What's going on, everybody? It's Chris Classic. Dropping the car vlog coming from work. Got a lot of things I got to take care of today to get ready for our show. Press Start 2 in Crown Point, Indiana, on the Square Sports Academy. Doors open at 1. I am so excited. Through trials and tribulations, just remember that God is good. Through good times, God is good. When you just feel like blah, remember that God is good. God is great. God can help you get over these situations. Some of these situations we are put in, sometimes we put ourselves in them. But God has given us the dominion and authority to beat these things like depression and nihilism, and then just giving up on yourself and stuff like that. And sometimes God just wants us to be still and let Him move. So that's very important. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to our other YouTube channel, the C3 Ultimate Wrestling page. Our matches from tomorrow will be there. I can't confirm the date, so that's why it's very important to go see it live. I wanted to talk about this situation since yesterday. Let's just say it like that. A few days ago, unfortunately, we lost a wrestling legend who was still adding stats to the legendary status. We lost Jay Briscoe of the Briscoes. They are very popular on the independent scene and even on the wrestling scene. As you see, a lot of wrestling companies showing love, showing respect. A lot of wrestlers are tweeting. A lot of people are making videos and stuff like that. So not only have they affected a lot of fans, they affected a lot of wrestlers. Like me, I've seen a few of their matches. I'm not going to sit here and say I've watched a lot of their matches, but to be ignorant is to say you don't know who they are or what they contributed to, and they have been on a lot of people's list of matches that they wanted to go against as a tag team or as singles competitors. So rest in peace. A lot of people, even Cornetti, spoke about it today. Well, I saw the video today, but I'm sure it aired earlier. You know, it's very emotional, and he was saying like how the guy affected his community in a positive way, and he also affected the rest of the community in a positive way, most positive than negative. So I will say that. Going into that, I know a lot of people are upset with AEW and Warner Broadcasting Network because they didn't have a live tribute to Jay Briscoe after passing. They had graphics, they had something after a show to where people left and stuff like that, but it wasn't televised. And I do know that ROH, the app, I forgot what, the Honor Club, I think they did something, but a lot of people were upset with Warner and AEW. Now, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to be honest on both sides of the spectrum, both sides of the table. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, okay? So, a lot of people know that about 10, 11 years ago, he made some tweets about same-sex marriages and stuff like that, and then he even went to the point of saying he was going to shoot someone. Now, I know he's a believer of God, as I am a believer of God too. Now, as a believer, we do have to watch what we say and how we say it. Even if we're so passionate for the love of God, we cannot say certain things that God didn't appoint us to say and God doesn't want us to say. But does not mean that, because I know he did apologize, but it does not mean that we have to settle for what people say and have to allow certain things. But we do, as believers, have to carry ourselves a certain way. You know, it's not for us to force somebody to believe what we believe in, and at the same time, that's nobody else's right to force us to support or believe what they believe in as well. I will say that. So I'm here saying it now. I want to reiterate, I do not support what he said about shooting and physical and causing physical harm. We are in a time to where people are finding receipts on everybody for what they said about anything, and then they're coming to light. Some of them are. Some things are swept under the rug. That's for another time. But that's one of those things. So for a broadcasting network, they're going to look at that. They're going to pick that. They're going to pick on that, and they're going to target on that. Follow with me on why you do not book them, even though they were just the newly crowned ROW tag team champions and stuff like that. And a lot of people are upset with AEW for that, and then a lot of people are upset with Warner. Now, the people who are upset are fans of Jay Briscoe, of the Briscoes and stuff like that. And then it's just like this guy they have done a lot of impact in wrestling, independent and mainstream. And a lot of people are upset. And they are bringing up very good points. For example, they were talking about why does Warner care so much about that and not hurting people's feelings and making people uncomfortable? Why did you continue to book Sammy Guevara, who said he would, you know what, to a woman, to Sasha Banks? Or book Nick Gage, who has done something that has made somebody scared and maybe fearful for their life for the rest of their life, and has done a lot of things that are not very role model-ish, very bad, very sadistic. Why would you continue to book them? You have a lot of people that was on the dark side of the ring that's talking bad about Vince that was also a part of it too, and they get on TV, and then you have wrestlers with the speaking out movement who are accused of doing things, and some people have evidence and people are still being booked. So yeah, it's a big contradiction to say, okay, this guy said something 10 years ago, he admitted that he said it, there was evidence, and he even apologized for it, and you still held that over his head, and then at the same time, y'all let all these other people and certain people do things who did things that was less than a year ago and possibly still doing and still saying behind the scenes. We don't know. So my thing with that is, yes, that is definitely unfair. And it just seems like you guys just wanted to capitalize, and even the network, on his death. You know, WWE does this a lot when they fall out with wrestlers and stuff too. So don't think I'm just attacking just one company. I'm just talking about the one that's at hand. So yeah, that does suck if you are a big Jay Briscoe fan or you are a fan of the Briscoes, and then you turn around and then you see these people saying they miss him and this and that and the other, but then it was just like it wasn't a fight thing. And this is my take for that. There are a lot of wrestling companies that for now and forever is going to do tributes to the Briscoes, to Jay Briscoe. It's going to do 10 bell salutes. They're going to do a whole bunch of things for that. And that's why I always say wrestlers should always have wrestlers back. Promoters should always have wrestlers back when it comes to these kind of things. To try to just hope that companies that are mainstream just going to have our back. Sometimes they don't, because they do have to do compromising things so they can have a wrestling show. You get what I'm saying? It's not a lot of people are going to fight for wrestlers and stuff like that. Sometimes it is a profit thing. You get what I'm saying? And maybe Tony did fight. He just couldn't win it. But at the same time, we have to have us sometimes. Fans have us sometimes as well. You get what I'm saying? He apologized. You know, and I do understand that just because you apologize, that doesn't mean that people will forgive and stuff like that. But it's just the things that are allowed that is running on that network is what's making people upset about the situation. And that's just the thing with business. Sometimes people are going to have favorites. So sometimes it's going to be unfair. You know, life isn't fair, you know. That's why we have to seek favor in God. You get what I'm saying? And that's one of those things that Jay Briscoe has done. And the things that he's done for the community. You're hearing so many people, hearing so many wrestlers saying how he or Mark helped them with a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I did want to just really like break that down a little bit. And I also wanted to give my take on it too, because I do see a lot of things with wrestling, not even just AEW, but other companies and such. It's like, why are y'all booking these people when they have a bad track record or they're toxic or they're not good and stuff like that? So many people are still talking about it. So many people are still emotional about his passing and stuff like that. And like I said, you know, I can't force nobody to forgive and things like that, but it does make people who do support Jay Briscoe or the Briscoes and what they do, it does make them scratch their head when that same network is allowing other things to happen. And if they are social media savvy, that they were cool with these people doing this and these people doing that. And I understand Sammy went to counseling, he didn't get paid and all of that other stuff, but you know, I do think that Jay did his time, personally. But what do you guys think about the situation? Do you think they should have did better? Do you think you understand? Like, what did he say something that what his statements and tweets were so offensive? Do you understand? Like, what are y'all takes on that? I want to hear you guys. I want to comment on you guys. Tomorrow is Press Start 2. I hope you guys are having a great day. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.